You are studying the law and you are breaking the law. What are you? A criminal, and that's all. Period. Hi guys, welcome back. Let's get straight into the video. I think the first thing to take note of is why. A lot of us don't really know the why, but I think for some they discover it immediately, and for some they discover it along the way. That's the first point. Why? Why are you studying law? What motivates you? What inspires you to study law? For myself, it's because I can't stand being violated of my rights. I can't stand seeing other people being treated unfairly. I just can't stand it. I love to know the law. I love to have knowledge of something that I can use to my advantage. I just love law for what it offers me, the benefits it offers me, and the power and advantage it allows me to offer others. That's my why. And I'll tell you the story behind that why. Okay, when I was in secondary school, I think SS2, SS1, around that class, I was in boarding school system. And there was a particular clothing accessory, maybe socks, that we ought to have, and we had not been given as marginal students because it was not yet available. So people generally were being punished for not putting on that socks. So as marginal students, we had an excuse, we had a defense for not putting on that socks, right? And I was telling the teacher that was to punish people for not putting on the socks that, oh, as marginal students, we had not been given and we had paid. So definitely we should not be punished for this. And you have to see the way this man played off. Like I was saying something to insult his personality, insult his authority, insult his ego. And I was like, no, so I'm just telling you that we should be excused. We should be allowed to just go scot-free because we've done nothing wrong. We've paid the price for the goods and you are not giving us. Simple. And he spoke to me anyhow. He beat me. He still beat us at the end of the day. That was just it. The corporal punishment. They still inflicted it upon us at the end of the day. And I didn't like that. That's just one story that I know I still think of often when I reason on the question of why I'm not studying law. I just can't stand it. Someone being violated of their rights and just being ignorant of your rights because you don't know it, you're just accepting anything. I wasn't rude to him, but I made my point very clear to him. I was assertive in that sense that, sir, I paid for this, you haven't given me. Although you are punishing me, you know it is not justified. So I think that's it. I think I'm always that strongest. That's my why. And that's the very first point. It will take me to the second point. The second one is the what. What's the purpose of the law for you? Okay? What do you intend to derive from studying this law? What do you want to use this law for? And that would also include what area of law do you want to practice? Are you more of litigation? Are you going to be a corporate lawyer? Are you going to be a family lawyer? Are you going to be a divorce lawyer? Are you going to be a maritime lawyer? What exactly do you want to be? That's the question with law. And yes, the big answer is I'm still figuring out. At least I know what motivates me to study law, right? The what lawyer I want to become, I actually don't know. Like law is diverse, law is every level, every semester. I fall in love with every new area of law. My last semester was land law. I really loved land law. I loved evidence. What exactly do I want to do? And let's find out. Let's see time here. But I would not deceive you. I know the area of laws I am very good at. I know the area of laws where I shine. I know the area of laws that I know that, oh, this is exactly what suits me, okay? I will just be giving one example, criminal law. I love criminal law. I love to study, I listen to a lot of true crime stories. And it just allows me to understand the reasoning, the motive, the intent behind crime. Why crime are committed? Is it a crime of passion? Is it a crime that was provoked? Is it a crime that, was premeditated? I mean, that's just the area of I really love. And I think it's because it's closer to the psychology and study of man and why he actually commits crime, mens rea, the mental knowledge, the intention to commit that crime, and the act. I just love criminal law. That's why I love evidence. I mean, you have to prove your facts, and that's the what for me. And now it's just criminal law, and I know I'm all bent on really knowing more about. If I show you my YouTube downloads, guys, you would think I'm a serial killer. You would think I'm a freak, but I'm not. That's what for me. And that's my advice to every other law student. Whether you're in law school, whether you're just in university, there's an area of law you really find interesting. Know more about that area of law. I mean, listen to documentaries, follow up on it, guys. You are building up yourself. These are things they won't teach you in the classroom. Now, so the third point is how to actually study and read for law. Or how to actually study law. Yeah, there's no perfect way, there's no definite way to study law, but definitely there have been opinions, precedents on how to actually study law. You have to actually know how to study the law that you're reading. And that's talking about judicial precedents, that's case laws, statute, textbooks. How do you actually study this law? How do you take notes? Just how do you listen in class? It is very important to develop yourself in this area because it's just like any other course. It's visual arts. If you say you're studying visual arts, let's say sculpture, you should actually know how to sculpt something, right? With wood or whatever material you're using. Simpler, if it's drawing, visual arts, you should actually know how to draw because that's what you're studying. Same applies with law. If you are studying law, you should actually know how to study and read that law. Now, do you study law? How do you read law? For me personally, I love to take notes in class. I don't joke with that. I don't write a lot, but just think things I hear the lecturer say, or a scenario question he puts forward, or he asks us a question. Listen to lecturers when they ask you questions. From that, that will let you know what necessarily is going to be your test questions, your exam questions. So those are ways I study law. I listen in class, I take notes, I read, I follow up on them, I ask questions similar to what I've been taught in class, or is on exactly what I have taught in class. I listen, I ask questions, I read. And in this world now, technology is just so helpful for any course you're studying in this world. I use Meta AI a lot. I'll give you that. That is a tip. WhatsApp Meta AI a lot. That thing as of my life. It simplifies any discourse, really, any area of law you don't understand, any course you don't understand, any topic under it. Look for those artificial intelligence applications that can better help you read and study this law. I mean, you have to do well. That's the truth. As a law student, you're not expected to fail. In my previous video, I discussed on what works well for you, know what works well for you. Now I'm saying, how do you actually study law? It's diverse for different people, but for me, those are little pro tips that I use to actually do well in my test and exam. I mean, I take notes, I ask questions, I don't play with asking questions. I used to be shy before, but guys, not to be shy about your paying your school fees, ask that question. Whether you think it's stupid or not, ask the question. And read with friends, attend tutorials. Yeah, more on tutorial. As I earlier said in my past video, I would advise you not to go to tutorial if you don't know what you are going there for. Because some people go to tutorial to waste their time, and it's sad. Because when you go to something because your friend is going, you don't want to look like you're dumb, so you follow along. Go to tutorial after you have read something, you have knowledge of something. I just sitting out there not understanding what people are discussing. You're wasting your time. Make good use of your time when you can. And another point would be read. Start reading early into the semester. There is no time. Time flies by in the university. It's so fast. Like the next point is on how to actually build your CGPA. I've realized that law students make the mistake of not being serious and studious very early on. You have to build your CGPA early on. And how do you build it? By doing well. That's a simple answer. By doing well. But then you would ask, how do you do well? Takes me back to my previous point. Listen in class. Listen attentively. Don't sit down at the back. Take notes. Ask questions. I will repeat this thing. Ask questions. Do you know it even lets you familiarize yourself with the course better? Because ask those questions, they are relevant. No matter how stupid or dumb it may sound in your head, ask those questions. That's why you're in school. You have paid for the education, as well get it. Also on building your CGPA, take extra mile, put in extra effort, do the extra work, simply gather more knowledge. And this is very important for law students because if you know the amount of statutes you are going to take down, cases you're going to take down, you know very well it's important for you to gather more knowledge outside the classroom. And this would coincide with my earlier point on using Meta AI and any other artificial intelligence to further better yourself and your education. So I'll give you examples of sites that you can get further knowledge, especially for law students. Law Pavilion is there, Legapedia is there, Nigeria Law Today is there, ResearchGate. I love the papers on ResearchGate. They are very, very insightful. Academia is also a very good page where you can gather very important knowledge on any discourse that is strange or is confusing to you. And track your progress. When you see you're doing better, track it. Also, when you see it's as if you digress a bit, track it. It is very helpful for law students. So let me give you another hint. I mentioned some pages on sites that you can see much more insightful knowledge on. I would give you Nigeria Open University too. For those that know the drill, they know the drill. Nigeria Open University is a lifesaver when it comes to PDF on courses, legal topics that it's just straight to the point, and a lot of lecturers they won't let you know. Instead of waiting for a lecturer to send you notes, you can gather notes, information from these other sources. You see a lot of case scenarios that are very well detailed. They would simplify it for you. Oh no, National Open University is a big one. It's a very big one on my list. I would advise anybody to use it. Though, let me give you the cons. At times, it might seem as if it's too much, But just gather important things you need there. That's what I do. Just gather what is necessary to you and relevant to you. And also don't overdo. If a lecturer has not necessarily talked upon a topic, meaning it might not be necessary for you to read upon it. Don't do it. That's just it. Another point would be to just take wise actions as regarding how you read. And I've been victim of this, especially when I don't read early. That's it. Don't procrastinate to the extent that when you want to read, you're just cramming it in. And so what you have read earlier on, you would forget in the process of trying to gather new information and clouding your brain. So take very wise decisions when it comes to how and when you read. This is very important for law students. So the next point would be have social relationship, both with law students and other students. This is very helpful and helps you grow. I mean, you want to become a lawyer in the nearest future. The universities are open ground for you to interact with other people and have friends in everywhere you can have friends. Okay, and it's very important. And I know this. That's why I'm also putting this in the video. I'll be discussing another very important point: carryover. The plague called carryover. Avoid it. Everything you can do in this life to avoid carryover in university, do it. Except shit. That I would not advise you to do. But every good thing you can do, every legitimate steps you can take, taking all these steps I've told you earlier, reading, how you read, set tutorials, set timers, schedules for yourself, oh, it's been very helpful. Because when you have carryover, there is a likely chance you're going to add the game. Depending on the course you had the carryover in, at what stage you had the carryover in, is it like 300 level student, 400 level student? I mean, all these things matter. So as much as possible, avoid it. What they do say in university is let my people go. If that is what you're going to have and just scale through a CAD, just have it and go. It's not advisable to have low marks, but it's neither advisable to have carryovers. Those things, they mess up your CGPA, they mess up your everything, they mess it up, and it can be so frustrating at times. It is very frustrating. I understand sometimes you put in your best effort and that's what happens, but don't give up. At times also, carryover can be somewhat of a blessing in a course. I'll give you an example. I had a friend who had carryover in a particular course in our early days, that was 100 level, but she did it, she took it in the 200 level. And by the time she was taking it again, she was now well formed, well knowledgeable, much more serious. Did you believe this girl had an A? And that was a really good boost to her CGPA. So don't give up at any instance in life. When it seems like things are not going your way, just eat it and do better. That's just what I'm saying. Avoid it when you can, but if it happens, then take it, hold it by the reins and take control of that situation, like my friend did. So this will take me to my next point. As law students, you are studying the law. I'm so passionate about this point. You are studying the law and you are breaking the law. What are you? A vagabond, a criminal, and that's on period. Simply put, don't engage in illegal activities. As law students, the school disciplinary committee doesn't take it easy on you. Senate will not take it easy on you. Nobody will take it easy on you because of the fact that you know the law and you are going against it, you are violating it. Law students can be very defensive, we can be very proud and acting on top of the world like we know everything. That is why when we go against law and we are caught in that corner, they like to use it against us. Illegal activities such as smoking, if it is not allowed in university as it's not mine, avoid it. Use of illegal substances, avoid it. Any behavior that is not accepted in your school, avoid it. They are not allowed in your school, avoid it. Aside from the fact that they are illegal, there's some illegal activities that are actually prohibited under the law, meaning you can actually be punished outside the university's disciplinary committee. They can call the police on you, they can call EFCC on you if necessary, if it's fraudulent crime they're involved in. They can even call NDLEA. Like, I've seen things as I'm seeing this. Be very careful. Don't just eat some things too. If you know your friend is the wildest person, I would advise you, don't eat some cookies. That's coded. Don't eat cookies anyhow. Don't take drinks anyhow. Be careful because you can be implicated. And if you have roommates, you have people that you have no choice to be surrounded with because of the virtual fact that you guys have to live together. Just be careful, my dear. They don't take it easy on law students. When law students are lawbreakers, there's almost no escape. So that's another very important point I have to point out to you guys. This one is also very important if you're trying to build your CGPA and you're just trying to do better generally as a law student. I would advise you to know the basic of every principle. I discovered this, I think, in my 200 level, going to 300 level, that once you know the basics of every doctrine, every principle, every general rule, or any rather, you'll be able to tackle that course, that subject, better. For example, let me give you a simple principle, a random one. There is the doctrine of bona fide possession for value without notice. Now, to break down this simple doctrine or principle might seem strange to some people, but you just take it one by one. Take the basics and break it down. First off, what did I mention first? Bona fide possession. Know what bona fide possession is about. Then, simply in good faith, you purchase something in good faith. Then for value, value means consideration under the law, money or anything that has such considerable value under the law. And without notice, notice if you don't have knowledge of something. So you can see I broke down this principle, and I like to use one thing. I call it the literal rule. There's literal rule in the law too. I like to understand the English meaning of the word or the term. Then if it's a maxim, understand the Latin meaning or whatever language it is quoted in, understand the meaning of that word, of that doctrine, of that principle. These are just basic steps that you take that are very helpful. At the end of the day, you're just learning. You're not a professor in this law, you're still a student. So read and study like a student, but that has the brain of a professor, that's going to take steps that are actually helpful. And also, sometimes I used to do this in secondary school. There's a long word, find a way to just shorten it in a way that you remember in your brain. Like find words similar to that word that you never forget in your brain. That's just another tip that occurred to me, and I was like, yes, people deal with this issue. Once you see big doctrines, you see big choice, you see big principles, you see big laws, strange laws, complex topics, you just back off. It is understandable, but you have to take this thing one step at a time and break it down, and then you just realize it's nothing. So the next point I'll be discussing on is on internships. Internship is very important for a law student. It boosts your morale to be a law student. If I'm going to court during the holidays, I see what I intend to practice. I'm seeing how the lawyers are acting in court, how the judge is acting in court, how everything is taking place, how it's been played out. I would enjoy it, and I will see whether I intend to even go further into that career. So it's just like a fashion designer. They go for they don't call it internship, but they go and learn. They go and learn the job. Same way for docents. I'm just saying it is advisable to do internship. The next one will be have skills. Have skills in the sense that other than things which are being taught in school, develop some skills that will help you in your legal career. If it is oratory skills, if it's that you love talking, learn how to talk. It is very helpful. If it's that you love writing, I can assure you there's still a way to incorporate your talent into your profession. Learn, like, build it up. Learn that skill. If you have it, develop it. That's the word, and incorporate it into what you're learning. There was a time a lecturer commended a girl for having very good literary skills, and wrote so well. She took the lecturer through the process of how she had learned that topic, how well she understood it, and I mean it was just, it blew the mind of the lecturer. That's what I'm just trying to say. So try to incorporate your skill too into what you are learning in school. It is very helpful. The fun fact for me is that I like to be very happy when I'm reading. I can't read when I'm sad. I love to be very happy, and I love to dramatize what I'm reading. If it's a case scenario I find very funny, I engage with that case as if it is taking place in front of me. I see the characters are literally in front of me, the parties are in front of me. So be happy when you are reading. Well, last but not least is participating in extracurricular activities. I cannot overemphasize on this point. It is very important for law students to participate in extra activities outside the classroom. Chambers meeting, joining a chambers, attending moot and mock trials, participating in the executive of your school, legislative, judiciary, whatever office is available. Just join something. Find yourself somewhere in the activities of your school, society, when it comes to law. Aside the fact that these things are helpful for you in your career journey, they are also helpful in building your CV and your resume alongside your CGPA. You may ask, how are they building my CGPA? These are not things I've been taught in class, but you will learn a lot in chambers. I promise you. I have learned a lot of new things just by being in the chambers. Practical experience aside the theoretical aspects by attending moot and mock court trials. They are very helpful things. I mean, law only starts in the classroom. It doesn't end there. It goes further. So why don't you take the extra mile, do yourself a favor, and just know more. That will be the end of our long video. Thank you guys for sitting down with me. I'm so happy I decided to film this video. I was a bit skeptical initially, but I mean, if someone had told me these things early on, I know I'd have done better. I hope that if you guys can take these steps and do better, I'm sure you would have almost no regrets. So guys, let's not have any regrets by liking this video. Please don't forget to. Also comment your opinions, your thoughts, what you also learned along the way. If you're a fellow senior, so to say. If you're also a junior, welcome to law. I promise you are going to enjoy it. So let me know if you ask questions, anything that confuses you. I'm sure I can cover everything. I'm just trying to give like a general overview of what to expect, and more importantly, don't forget to subscribe so that you would get notification every time I do drop an upload. And I promise you, I drop upload every week at least on this channel. Share this video to someone you know it's very helpful to. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and that will be all for today. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.